welcome to this very special episode of Frankly Speaking. And joining me today is Prashant Kishore. Well, he started off being a politician as a vice president in JDU, but now it seems he's on the war path with Nitish Kumar. But he's had several successes of making big leaders win elections. And Mamata Banerjee is his latest client, after making Arvind Kejriwal and Jagan Mohan Reddy win the elections of these two states. Prashant Kishore was also involved in the BJP's victory and working on the aura and the image of Narendra Modi in the run-up to the 2014 elections. But today, he's the biggest critic of the government at the center. Thank you very much for joining me on Frankly Speaking, Prashant Kishore. आप इतने गुस्से में क्यों रहते हैं? आपके ट्वीट से इतना धुआं निकलता है। अगर टेलीफोन पे अपना ट्वीट आपका पढ़ा जाए तो 2 महीने से बहुत धुएंदार ट्वीट्स हो रहे हैं। You have been very critical of the central government's handling of the COVID situation. Yes, right after Unlock 1.0 began, cases have begun to rise, but wasn't that always expected?
Well, the way you look at धुआं निकलना वगैरह, तो that's your words. Yes, I have been critical of government's handling of COVID, not post Unlock 1, right from, I would say, early mid-March when Janata Curfew was announced. And see, one can always assess the situation as they want to, but you can't distort the fact and data beyond a point. And the fact and the data today is telling that India is much worse off than what it was when all this response, the COVID response, started in 3rd week of May. As you rightly said, it was always expected. And a lot of people will say that a country of 1.3 billion people, how can you expect that there will be no numbers or numbers will not go up? I say that's fine. But where did government got it wrong, to my mind? One is right at the beginning, government probably missed in understanding the whole problem called COVID. And reason I say so is because the first case, if you recall, India got the first case on 30th of January. But whole of February and up until, say, 3rd week of March, there was no urgency shown by government to, which could have given confidence to any one of us or any citizen of this country that government has understood that this could be a serious problem that could hit the country, and government is doing something to prepare for it. All when they started to respond to it, that was way too late to my mind and to the minds of many others. And when we started, we probably set the expectation on the rosier side, as if one day of Janata Curfew and you saw what happened on the roads of India. People thought as if we are going to win this corona battle by adhering to Janata Curfew. Then came the Prime Minister's massive nationwide lockdown. There also he outlined that Mahabharat ki ladai 18 din mein jeeti gayi thi, corona ki ladai 21 din mein jeeti jayegi. See, one can always argue that, you know, how he had to sound optimistic. He had to give confidence to people. But it's also important that in your effort and desire to keep the motivation of the people, you do not set the wrong expectation. Now, coming back to the hard fact, are we doing better or worse? There are 3 ways to compare our situation. One, we compare our situation from where we started. Second point, people could say, oh yes, our situation has worsened, but we have done better than other countries. So I take that point and we compare with other countries. And third, if I can just complete. Third, now there is this new fad of comparing ourselves, our situation with counterfactuals. I am willing to debate on all 3. Compare your situation vis-a-vis where we were, say, on 20th of March. Compare our situation with the top other countries in the world, and I'm even willing to compare the situation with so-called counterfactuals. On all 3 counts, the hard data is telling that we have not handled this crisis well, not only on the public health front, that remains the major challenge, and it's only going to worsen with the time. But the real one additional problem that we have created, which is a self-created, is this whole humanitarian crisis which is linked to the mishandling of migrant issues.
We'll come to each one of these criticisms that you make one by one, but Mr. Prashant Kishore, I want to ask you, I want to ask you, are you questioning the popularity, the hold of the Prime Minister over the expectations of people? Number one. Number two, you're saying that 21 days lockdown, he had said as if everything is going to be solved. I want to ask you, isn't it always easier to sit back and in hindsight try and give a verdict, oh, ye to acha nahi hua, wo bhi acha nahi hua, yahan bhi aap fail, wahan bhi aap fail. I want to ask you, this is a man at the helm of affairs in this country. This is the man who's run a state for 15 years. This is the man who's run a country now for 6 years. Is there anyone better placed than him to understand the dynamics, number one? Number two, I want to ask you, expectations is something that he has delivered. Thrice in Gujarat, in fact 4 times in Gujarat, and twice at the center. You still want to doubt expectations that people have from him, and he has delivered more seats in 2019 than he had in 2014. He is in the business of managing and delivering on expectations. You want to challenge Narendra Modi on that? Are you a politician? You have politicians as your clients. What is your track record in politics?
My track record is nothing. I'm big zero. I have just started my career as a politician, so where is the question? The question should not even arise of me comparing myself, or for that matter anybody else.
Are you a columnist?
No.
Are you a critique of the government?
I'm nobody. I'm just a citizen of this country. But let's stick to the fact which you just raised. You said that, is it the benefit of hindsight which is allowing us to criticize him? No. That's why there are good thing is there is a Twitter. So you see and go and check what we have tweeted on 20th of March.
You've called all governments of bluff and bluster.
Yes. So
are you accusing the Prime Minister of bluff and bluster?
I'm accusing all the governments who believe in handling crisis through bluff and bluster.
Who are you charging with bluff and bluster? Mamata Banerjee? Arvind Kejriwal?
It is for the citizens to judge who is running the government with bluff and bluster. But stick to
when you make us charge like this, and this is a tweet of 5th of June.
Yes.
Be specific.
First, stick to what you asked me earlier. You are saying, is it the benefit of hindsight which is allowing us to be critical of government? No. What I'm saying is we have been criticizing this approach from day one. Second, what you said that he is very popular, very experienced, he knows it all.
No, nobody knows it all.
You could be very experienced, you could be very popular, but you could still make it, you could make a mistake in handling a crisis. Just because you are very popular, that does not mean that you cannot make an administrative mistake, or there cannot be an error of judgment in assessing a situation or responding to it. All we are saying is that yes, he has earned it. He, not as an individual, the government and both at the center and many states have erred in understanding and responding to this crisis. Now, the real problem is not the numbers. Real problem is they are not having the humility to accept that yes, we did not get the response or result which we were seeking, and hence we need to go back to the drawing board, look at the hard fact and data, and course correct. Governments across the world, they have done it. Why I'm calling it bluff and bluster is because there is no point continuing to defend something which is indefensible. No matter how you cut the data, no matter how you analyze it, our situation is worse than what it was. So what a sensible government should do, go back to the drawing board, look at the facts as it has come from the ground, course correct, tweak the strategy. What we are doing, we have gone on 4 rounds of lockdown, despite knowing that curve was never coming down. But for some bureaucrats who were sitting in the press conferences and trying to see a curve which is coming down, world knows that the curve, India's curve never came down. After that, you have gone for unlock 1. Where is the scientific basis or reason or logic behind this?
I don't get your contradictory criticism.
Okay.
When the first lockdown was announced, you said 21 days is too long.
Yes.
When it was extended, when the situation, remember, Mr. Prashant Kishore, you have seen states of Uttar Pradesh, you have seen the states of Bihar, you've seen the states of West Bengal.
Including Gujarat, do not miss that point.
Okay.
I have spent 3 years in Gujarat.
Okay, Gujarat, and you know the kind of infrastructure and preparedness that there was.
Yes.
For anybody to say that 21 days was too long, Do you realize that even now, 65 days later, 67 days later, there are state governments, including the non-BJP ones, who haven't got their act
Absolutely.
together? I want to ask you, how come not one word that you find to criticize the West Bengal government? Why? Because it's a client and pays you money for managing their image?
First of all, there is no client relationship I have. A lot of people who know me, they know that there's no client and service provider relationship. When it comes to criticizing government, you are saying that 21 days, why did I call 21 days lockdown long? First, you have to understand that part. You saw what happened. The day it was announced, very few people could see the migrant problem coming in. Because data is very clear in this country that a lot of people, lot of households, close to 30 to 40% households, never had enough means to survive in a lockdown situation for more than 7 days. And that is why I called 21 days lockdown a bit too long. That's first point one. Second, you said we did it to prepare ourselves better. Are we better prepared? As you rightly said, now 60 days, 70 days down the line, India is still the least tested country. Just to put the fact, at 3,300 TPM, test per million, India is ranked 18th out of 20 countries of G20. Only Mexico.
17th. No, it was 18th. It has become 17th.
No, it's 17th only because China data was not available. Indonesia and Mexico are the only two countries which has tested less than India. Do we have more beds? Do you know there are more ventilators? In a city like Mumbai and Delhi, as you rightly said, if the health infrastructure has not been beefed up to take care of this challenge in 70 days in Delhi and Mumbai, what to talk about Bihar, UP, Bengal or Odisha? So, if you are saying that I did this lockdown to prepare, where is the preparedness?
So how many tweets have I seen from Mr. Prashant Kishore criticizing Mamata Banerjee or Kejriwal?
I'm not criticizing a particular government, but who is leading the response? Why should I focus on Kejriwal or Mamata Banerjee?
You said people who know me know there is no client,
yes, no client.
service provider relationship. Then I want to ask you, are you a politician? Are you part of the government? How are you doing this image management or strategy management?
I'm not doing image or strategy management
for politicians to win their elections. You've done it for Jagan Mohan, you've done it in Andhra, you've done it in Delhi, you are doing it in West Bengal.
Image management or strategy management, I have done it for the present government as well. And not once in 2011-12 when he was not as big and as iconic a leader as he is today or as he became in 2014. So it's not limited to Arvind Kejriwal or Mamata Banerjee, but that does not color what I am saying. It's a country is facing one of the biggest crises of our lifetimes. You cannot exclude or let central government take the back seat and start criticizing a state government. States are merely...
Mr. Prashant Kishore, I understand, but there is room for a country standing together on the migrant issue that you keep bringing up.
Yes.
May I ask you that when the Prime Minister said everybody stay where you are,
yes,
wasn't that a better strategy?
Yes, it was a better strategy provided he or his government would have worked with the state governments to provide for safe stay and food and other support that migrants needed.
But you think he did not do that?
No, he did not.
He came in with the Prime Minister, Garib Kalyan Yojana.
No.
How many state governments who were not BJP state governments were willing to collaborate with the centre? I just want to ask you, can onus be only on one side? No. Is there no onus, accountability and responsibility on the opposition?
If India does well, who do you credit? In this studio, you guys sit and keep giving credit to the Prime Minister, and rightly so. So if country is doing well and he gets the credit, if something goes wrong in the country, why should we blame Kejriwal?
Is it as simple as that, a binary?
No, but binary has been created by news channels like you.
Okay, so it's our fault.
No, it's not your fault. I am saying you cannot have both way. When things go right, you give him the credit. If things go wrong, you want to blame it to the state government.
Prashant Kishore, again, are you dumping this down too much?
Hold on.
When it comes to dealing with China, dealing with the United States, you want somebody else to go and do that, not the Prime Minister of the country.
You made a point about PM Care. You tell me with your...
No, I didn't make I said Garib Kalyan Yojana. PM Care is your obsession, the opposition's obsession.
No, I'm not opposition. So first of all...
How come all your clients are from the opposition?
Garib Kalyan Yojana. What Garib Kalyan Yojana had to do with the migrants? They were not even eligible for it. Migrants were the forgotten lot. Where government, I find fault with them, is then when they realize in the first 3 or 4 or 5 days that this migrant problem is blowing off, they were not humble enough to realize and course correct. They did the course correction, but after 2 months, the same railway, why the railway could not have...
when the railway gave...
no, why 2 months?
आपने कहा देर से दी ट्रेन.
क्यों नहीं देर से दी?
आपने कहा देर से दी ट्रेन. Let's agree देर से दी ट्रेन.
ये गलती मान रहे हो?
मान लिया.
गलती सरकार मान रही?
मैं नहीं मान रही हूँ, सरकार मानेगी अपनी गलती. मैं कह रही हूँ कि मान लिया
2 महीने नहीं दिया.
हाँ, देर से दी ट्रेन. क्योंकि पहले की स्ट्रैटेजी थी कि आप जहाँ हैं वहीं रहिए.
आपने कुछ बनाई नहीं, आपकी स्ट्रेटेजी नहीं थी, वो तो आपका अनाउंसमेंट था.
ठीक है,
आपने किया कुछ नहीं.
If I take your word for it, they failed. But when they gave, did anybody be absolutely courteous and accommodating about it? There was confrontation on taking the trains. Mamata Banerjee.
I tell you why. Yes, Mamata Banerjee.
And she called it the Corona Express.
I understand why she's saying. You need to understand, and your viewers need to understand this. How criminal this is. First of all, by not letting people move in an organized and a safe manner, you expose them to the most high-risk settings. All these cities, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, which are high-risk zone, these poor people, they moved around on the lanes and by-lanes of those cities, looking for food, looking for transportation, therefore exposing themselves.
So no blame to the state government.
I'm coming to it. Let me complete. First you expose the migrants. Now it's very easy to say कि वो गलती हो गई 2 महीने. 2 महीने आपने लाखों लोगों को पहले वायरस से एक्सपोज किया. फिर okay, I take it that your policy changes.
स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की कोई ड्यूटी नहीं थी कि कोई आप उनके लिए छत अरेंज करें, कोई खाना अरेंज करें, उनकी कोई ड्यूटी नहीं थी. Everything is outsourced to the central government.
No, because you said that central government said कि जो जहां है वहीं रहे. जो जहां है वहीं रहे, तो central government should have forced or guided or helped state governments to maintain. But that's one part of it. आपने उनको
And you think they didn't guide?
They did not, because as you rightly said, all they said is जो जहां है वहीं बना रहे. दूसरी बात, आपने 2 महीने उनको एक्सपोज होने दिया. आप कह रहे हैं गलती हो गई, जब 2 महीने के बाद रियलाइज हुआ, अब हम उनको वापस भेज रहे हैं. चलिए ये भी मान ली बात आपकी. After 2 months when you are sending them back, at least as you rightly have been saying कि 2 महीने में आपने कैपेसिटी इतनी बना लेनी चाहिए थी कि when you are making them board the train, you should test them beforehand. You are not even testing now.
That was the state government's job.
But it's not a state government job.
Of course it is.
You are putting somebody from Maharashtra to West Bengal, the testing has to happen in Maharashtra, not in Bengal.
तो स्टेट गवर्नमेंट किस लिए चीफ मिनिस्टर रखती है, किस लिए इतना बड़ा apparatus रखती है? Why do taxpayers pay for a state government if the state government has no duty, no responsibility, no accountability?
There is all accountability with the state government, but the guidelines are set by central government. Central government did not say that after 2 months when we are providing the trains, no one will board the train till everyone is tested. Because why didn't they say that? Because they never had the testing capacity to do that. Now it is left to the
state. When they had the test kits available in West Bengal, how many were used? For the first 2 months, how many did West Bengal use in the first place?
Right.
I want to ask you.
So 1 month, West Bengal was the least tested state. Today, West Bengal is one of the better off.
Why don't we talk about that 1 month? Because you're talking about Modi's performance in that 1 or 2 months.
Go and ask Mamata Banerjee. I'm not her spokesperson. But as of today, in terms of testing, West Bengal is number 21. In terms of % positive, they are doing better than the national average. In terms of fatality, they are one of the worst states, and that's the fact is there. Let's stick to the migrant thing, because you have done injustice to them in all counts. First, you did not allow them and give them the safe passage to return to their native places. Second, when you asked them to stay put wherever they are, you did not provide any support. Whether state government didn't do or central government didn't do, I don't want to get into a debate. Governments failed. The third thing, when you are sending them back, it's very important. When you are sending them back, there is no provision made by central government and including many of the state governments to check them. So what they are being subjected to, they are going back to the society. So basically, you are becoming the super spreader. You are actually first exposing millions of people.
तो इसीलिए आप अपने लोग भी वापस लेना नहीं चाहते.
कौन नहीं ले रहा है? Every state government has to. It's not a question of governments. People walked. People simply went back to wherever they wanted to go, and they wanted to go back to their native places. It is not, that is where central government heard it.
I don't get it. You say bluff and bluster. Bluff and bluster.
But I'm not calling bluff and bluster only for central government. I'm saying all governments.
All governments.
All governments, whether at state level.
Name them.
It's not for me to name them. But I'm saying
Bengal,
all governments.
you said, had the worst policy in the first 1 month.
But Delhi
today is number 3.
See,
again, Mr. Kejriwal, whose governance you guided during the elections. Mr. Kejriwal, who did not walk into the trap of Narendra Modi and won. You formalized that strategy.
Okay. But I don't run comment. You have to understand. Your viewers have to understand. Just because you have voted for someone, and just because you have supported someone,
viewers also expect Mr. Prashant Kishore
to do what?
To be absolutely factual and to be unbiased. Do you think Mr. Kejriwal has handled the situation well in the last 2 weeks?
Okay. You can ask me how the state governments have done.
Okay.
I will tell you that most of the state governments, let's not rank them at this stage, not because of Kejriwal or Mamata Banerjee, it's because we are still in the early phases. Based on data that is available right till now, you can say except for Kerala,
But Kerala had 110 cases yesterday.
But that's what I'm saying. Except based on, that's why I qualified by saying, based on data and evidence which is available till date, looks like Kerala is one state that has handled the crisis till date better than any other states. There are other states as well, whether it is Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Jharkhand, to some extent Rajasthan, even Punjab, they have not faulted to a great extent. What is important here, which you and I have to understand and the viewers have to understand, that this is not the crisis which anyone probably have understood in full measure. What we need to do, whether I am a state government or whether I am a central government, whether I am a popular leader or I am a less popular leader, I need to be humble. I need to have the humility to accept that we can make some mistake and make the course correction. I am finding my basic objection with this government is that you are trying to defend which is not defensible. You are not accepting that lockdown did not give you the result which you wanted.
Mr. Prashant Kishore, I completely take your point that everybody should be humble, but I find a slight hypocrisy in this because Mamata Banerjee, when was the last time she was humble?
Mamata Banerjee is not the chief prime minister of the country.
भाई आप उनके current advisor हैं, humility आप उनको नहीं सिखा सके, दुनिया को सिखाने चले आप humility.
मैं किसी को नहीं सिखा रहा हूँ, मैं तो अपनी बात कह रहा हूँ. ममता बनर्जी को सीखना सीखे, मोदी जी को सीखना सीखे. मैं और who am I to say? As a citizen, I am raising the point which I think is right. I'm nobody to. मैं थोड़ी ना कह रहा हूँ. लेकिन you know, as a news anchor, it is so unfair on your part to keep blaming the Mamata Banerjee and Kejriwal.
No.
Are they handling the situation?
I am a news anchor, a journalist to ask you questions based on the position you are holding.
And you're not expected to ask the question.
When I will interview the Prime Minister, I will ask him the questions I need to ask him.
Now, where did you ask him this question? In last 2 months,
I haven't been given an interview on COVID. Believe me, if I have a questionnaire ready for you, I have a questionnaire always ready for him as well as soon as I get my appointment. When is the last time Mamata Banerjee gave me an interview?
Yes,
when she bans us.
Okay, hold on. You are talking.
You criticize the West Bengal government and the same people who stand up and say freedom of speech, ban us.
Who?
Kejriwal had banned us.
Okay.
Why?
Okay, name one prime minister or president in a democratic world who has not come and faced the press in this 3 months crisis. But for our prime minister, name one prime minister, one president across the world who has not come and faced the camera and the journalists. He is the one. Why are you comparing him with Mamata Banerjee? Is Mamata Banerjee the prime minister of this country? Who has got the 200?
So humility applies only to prime ministers, is the point you're saying?
Humility applies to all, but because he is the one who is leading this country. It is he who said clap it. It is he who said ki light the diya. It is he who said that we will win it in 21 days.
So you are saying that keeping people
who has
optimistic, sending messages of optimism at a time when people are still trying to grapple ki ye ho kya gaya? What is this disease that we are handling? You know, there is a whole lot of population in India that didn't understand what was happening.
Keeping people motivated and optimistic is one thing, and making them not realize the risk is a different thing. When you say when you say that now you have, even in unlock.
What about Maharashtra, and what about Mr. Rahul Gandhi's statement where he said...
I'm nobody to defend Rahul Gandhi. Rahul Gandhi is more than capable and has enough resources to defend. Am I his?
आप उनका इलेक्शन भी हैंडल कर रहे थे यूपी में यूपी के लड़के.
So UP first of all, now you mix things from COVID to UP election.
Mix नहीं, it is the persona of Prashant Kishore which is attached everywhere.
Yes.
If he is mixed up with UP, Bengal, Andhra, Delhi, मैं क्या करूँ?
See, UP election. What UP election has got to do with the COVID management of this country?
No, I'm talking about you've interacted with these leaders. Yes. Rahul Gandhi bans us. Freedom of speech is his first tenet of the democracy.
Rahul Gandhi is doing the press conference.
Mamata Banerjee doesn't. Many
Mamata Banerjee does press conference every second day.
Doesn't give an interview. I want to ask her an interview. Prime Minister has given an interview to me.
She gave interview to your colleague in West Bengal, Tamal. You ask him, Tamal, what are you saying that she has banned Times Now? There is, you name, except for the Prime Minister and one Chief Minister, which is unfortunately happens to be my own state Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. Not a single elected leader in this country and go beyond this country who have not done a formal press conference, interacting with press at large, informing the citizens.
And you think that will solve the COVID problem?
No, but you owe it, because as a democratic leader, you owe it to your people, your constituents, your countrymen and women, that you keep them informed. You don't send a third-ranking bureaucrat. Don't send a third middle-ranking bureaucrat, with all due respect to them, to defend your policy.
All right, but
people have not voted for bureaucrat. People have voted for you. They want to hear from you that what is your strategy, whether it is right or wrong.
Health Minister को आप कुछ नहीं मानते.
Health Minister has never done this. He has done 1 or 2 press conferences in the last 3 months.
Never, or 2 or 3.
Okay, so you are happy as a journalist. You tell me what is your opinion. Whether government at highest level.
I would love the Prime Minister to come out.
Yes,
I mean, so
that's what as a citizen also. I would also love.
So then
my Prime Minister.
As a citizen, I'm asking you the question.
As a citizen, hold on. Let me complete this. As a citizen, all I'm saying, whether we are doing right, wrong, good, bad, average, I would like my Prime Minister to come and inform us that this is how we are doing, this is working, this is not working, this is the corrective measure I'm doing. And I would bet my neck, all of you would love that as well.
Absolutely. And हम अपने बचपन में सुना करते थे विविध भारती पे फरमाइशी गीत, तो मैं सोच रही हूँ and hope कर रही हूँ कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर ये इंटरव्यू देख रहे हैं और फरमाइश आपकी सुन रहे हैं and respond करेंगे.
If I'm able to talk to him, I'll tell him the same thing, because he is one of the best communicator. He still enjoys, as you rightly said, the vast majority of this country is still in awe with Mr. Modi. He can tell them, if you are telling that people are not being disciplined in their behavior, you know, it is the responsibility of the Prime Minister.
So he's talking to people.
But when he's talking, he's telling them to light a diya. He's not talking enough.
He's spoken other thing. Diya and Thali was the first 2 ones.
Yes.
After that, 4 times
he has not spoken. No, he has spoken total 4 times. And I think he has the ability, he has the bandwidth, and he has the responsibility, more importantly, to teach, to inform, to guide the people. You cannot put the blame on Mamata Banerjee or Rahul Gandhi or Arvind Kejriwal. 200 million people have voted for Mr. Modi, not for Mamata Banerjee. Why are you comparing both?
But in the states where these people are running governments, they are responsible.
Of course,
also.
every government.
So let me ask you, as a citizen, you have so many questions for Prime Minister Modi.
No, I have questions from central government.
Okay, central government. As a citizen, don't you think when Mr. Rahul Gandhi says that we don't make the key decisions in the Maharashtra government and we are supporting the government but we are not accountable, isn't that completely absolutely arbitrary comment that is being made by a leader running away?
It's a wrong statement to make, but I think he clarified and then...
What is the clarification? The only clarification he gave was that the media was twisting his statements, and he put out a video which was also spliced.
Yes, I agree.
It was spliced?
It was.
It was spliced? So he called us paid media.
Yes.
He called us paid media. That's a democratic statement.
What did media do? What did social media do? Everyone criticized him for the comment.
Why not?
And yes, so the same rules should apply to when government makes mistake.
Yeah, so
the
migrant crisis has been criticized.
No, but you guys are still saying that central government was not at fault.
I'm not. Who am I to say, sir?
No,
am I a certification authority?
So you are
I
certifying Rahul Gandhi, but you don't want to certify the central government.
I'm sorry to say, I have done personally many shows on the migrant crisis, on how the government got it all wrong.
If West Bengal was not testing enough, you have all the right to criticize them, and you should. And if
we
you have done it, yes,
the
that's
central
fine.
government as well.
Then criticize central government as
we
well.
Have.
Don't say because every
the testing strategy, the number of tests, the migrant crisis, there has been criticism. My point is, when politicians get into blame game and confrontation, does it help the situation?
Do not say that this lockdown period has been used by government to ramp up the testing. But they have failed to ramp up the testing as they should have. Don't say that 1,25,000 tests is good enough.
Absolutely, I believe that the testing levels are too low, but the testing levels in Delhi, do you know, have come down even further because eight labs have been banned.
Then thrash them.
मैं ये पूछ रही हूँ प्रशांत किशोर जी.
I'm saying government of India should thrash the state government.
जो आपका चश्मा है ना, उसमें कुछ रंग है.
बिल्कुल नहीं जी, बिल्कुल सीधा है. ये बिल्कुल वाइट है.
कुछ रंग
चीजें ऐसी दिखती हैं जो है.
आपको कुछ रंग दिखते हैं, कुछ रंग नहीं दिखते हैं. मैं ये कह रही हूँ.
आप बता दो कौन सा रंग दिख रहा है, कौन सा नहीं दिख रहा है.
मैं ये तो आपका चश्मा है, आपने पहना है.
मैं कह रहा हूँ
मुझे यहाँ से ये लग रहा है कि जब आप ब्लफ एंड ब्लस्टर कहते हैं, आपके सारे गन्स पॉइंटिंग टुवर्ड्स नरेंद्र मोदी हैं. वही नरेंद्र मोदी जिनको आप कह रहे हैं आपने हेल्प किया था 2014 के इलेक्शन.
Where I have written that the Narendra Modi government is bluff and bluster government. I am telling that all governments, whether it is state government in Delhi or Bihar.
But the accountability is only for Modi, not the others.
Accountability is...
Humility should apply only to Modi, not the others.
I tell you why. More than others. Why? Because he is the Prime Minister. The testing policy of this country is at best, at top, is decided by central government. Others could implement, could better or worse. But you cannot absorb the central government.
Nobody can.
Yes,
but my point is, only criticizing, is it going to find us the solution?
No, not at all.
Or in this country, is there constructive working together?
But constructive...
If the Prime Minister has done so many, conferences with all chief ministers, why can't the chief ministers also come up with... Or
do you think do you think that is the best mode of consultation with the chief ministers? When you, in total, he has done 3 consultation meetings with chief ministers. In 2 of those 3, chief ministers, out of 28 to 30 chief ministers who participated, 1/3 of them got a chance to speak. So remaining 2/3 were spectators and mere listeners. So it's not a consultation as being made and presented.
I will challenge you on. I will challenge you because I am privy to facts that Mr. Modi calls up in 3 days every chief minister, a round of phone call conversations.
You're wrong. I also know a lot of chief ministers. Tell me which chief minister, non-BJP chief minister, who has got call every 3rd day as you are claiming. Not a single chief minister can say.
Are you challenging that?
I'm challenging on national TV. You present the chief minister, if you can present even 5 chief ministers who can say that he or she gets call every 2nd day or 3rd day. In the time of these times when you're facing a global pandemic, are we to say that a chief minister who gets his turn to speak 15 minutes on a video conference once in 15 days is the best way of consultation? I would rather take what you are saying, where a Maharashtra chief minister is talking to prime minister maybe twice a day if need be, maybe 5 times a day, because that is where the crisis is. But now if he has to consult the chief minister, he has to wait for another 15 days when that conference call will happen. And if Maharashtra is lucky enough to get the chance, some of the major states, they did not even were listed as the speakers.
Mr. Prashant Kishore, you are stating facts as you claim it.
No,
I don't know. I've been told by the Prime Minister, and I've been told by my sources very senior, close to the...
You are quoting sources, and I'm saying I can name the chief ministers who would come on television and say they're not
I'm not at a liberty to tell you who has told me, but I'm telling you it is absolutely right. This is the statement.
As a journalist, you can ask at least 10 chief ministers. They will say that they have not got any call as you are saying.
Then it's your point versus theirs. We will definitely ask them. But the Home Minister has also been in touch.
Home Minister, yes. Home Minister level chief ministers have got call, and because I know many chief ministers personally, and I know that they have of late they have got call. Many of them have got call from Home Minister. But when it comes to what you said, that he calls every day or second day or third day the chief ministers, that is completely lie. You are ill-informed, or you are not necessarily given the fact. No chief minister, as far as COVID is concerned, gets call from Prime Minister on a regular basis. Forget about regular basis, not even in 10 days, 15 days. You can talk to any chief minister. At least I can name 5 or 6 of them.
That's your charge. That's your
it's
charge.
Not a charge. I'm just correcting your assessment or information.
Congress is the biggest party. You mean to say you've never thought about the fact that अगर मुझे Congress मिलेगी तो मैं कैसे करूँगा कि नहीं?
No, my life is not driven by this idea of defeating BJP or creating an anti-BJP forum or bringing people how to defeat Modi.
You're kidding me.
But you have to take what I'm telling you.
Let me ask you a few political questions now. You've stayed away from advising the Congress ever since the debacle of the UP Ke Ladke campaign in Uttar Pradesh.
Yes.
Amrinder Singh has sought your help. I'm told even Mr. Kamal Nath in Madhya Pradesh sought your help. But you stayed away. Do you think as a client, there is no image of the Congress party that you can actually make over?
See, first of all, again, I will correct. There's no client. I have told it before. I have said it before.
Are you saying this is pro bono that you do?
It's not a question of pro bono. It's a question of I call myself as a political aide. That was the case with Mr. Modi.
Okay.
Mr. Modi was not my client. And if Mr. Modi was not my client, Rahul Gandhi, or for that matter, anybody who I work with, they are not also my client. I work with them.
But this is not pro bono work.
There's no professional fee, but of course, they cover the cost. But that's a different story for other day. But I'm saying if Mr. Modi was not my client, so those who accuse that, he's a PR guy, he is nobody, they forget that their leader also took some help at some stage. So that way, when he became my client, so you cannot have definition shifting for one for Mr. Modi and one for Mr. Rahul Gandhi, depending on when I work with them. Yes, people do reach out. Obviously, if someone has to face elections and if they reach out, they are within their rights to do that. Equally, I am within my right to accept or not to accept. I have been on record, and I repeat, I have no hesitation in repeating that I have got no interest as of today to take these what I call bits and pieces work, whether it is Punjab, whether it is Kamal Nath ji, or many others. You would have heard about.
You want the full party?
No, it's not about full party. It has to add up to something. I have been doing this last 4 or 5 years. Even you would have heard about JDS from Karnataka. Lot of people reach out, and I do not want to name all who reach out, but
including BJP.
But I'm not getting into that. I'm saying
why?
No, I'm not. You would have heard the stories about that also. But I don't. I'm saying that people, if they have to face election, they are within right to come and approach. I'm within my right to say yes or no, depending on what I see. If I see
so
a value,
you don't see marketability possibilities for the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi leading it?
No, but there's no. Rahul Gandhi has not come to me. Why should I even? That option is not on the table. As you named, it is Amrinder Singh and Kamal.
Theoretically,
if that option comes on the table, I will assess it at that time, and I will let you know that whether.
But you're a citizen who has worked as political aide with many parties,
yes,
and at a national level.
Yes.
Regional parties definitely have an edge and seem to be now the only opposition to the BJP in many states. So they are a good bet and interesting, political activity for you to build up a leader or his image or his strategy to take on the BJP. I'm asking you at a national level, Congress is the biggest party. You mean to say you've never thought about the fact that अगर मुझे Congress मिलेगी तो मैं कैसे करूँगा कि नहीं?
No, there are 2-3 things here. First, my life is not driven by this idea of defeating BJP or creating an anti-BJP forum or bringing people how to defeat Modi.
You're kidding me.
But you have to take what I'm telling you. My life goals are not to defeat
अभी
BJP.
तो मैंने आपसे पूछा आप किसी बीजेपी के चीफ मिनिस्टर के लिए करेंगे, आपने कहा नहीं,
मैंने कहा नहीं करेंगे. मैंने कहा कि people are free to come and approach. But what I'm trying to tell you is that people can approach, but whether I agree to do it or not is based on many other things.
That means that you're more tilted towards an anti-BJP front.
I do not see it from anti-BJP front. I have explained in great detail in other interviews that on what basis I choose to work with whoever I choose to work with. And I do not see necessarily my life be driven only with this desire to defeat BJP or create an anti-BJP front, because that's not my role, that's not my job. That's the job of the opposition parties, that's the job of Rahul Gandhi, not my job. So you should ask this Rahul Gandhi.
So Rahul, I'm asking you, is Rahul Gandhi capable? If you were to handle that?
Anyone is capable. See, first of all, we make this mistake of thinking that no one can defeat a ruling party.
That's not true. But can Rahul Gandhi?
That only time will tell. But I tell you, if you and I would have having this discussion, say in 1985, and you would have been asking, who can defeat Rajiv Gandhi? Do you think any person, no matter how smart he was, would have named BP Singh ji? If we would have having this discussion, say in 1973, and you would have asked who can defeat Indira ji.
But we are not asking in that era.
No,
we are asking.
No, I'm coming to it.
में थे, हम ये सवाल नहीं पूछ रहे थे. हम अब पूछ रहे हैं आपसे. आज के दौर का सवाल.
मैं आपको example इसलिए दे रहा हूँ कि whenever a very popular leader with a big majority is ruling, people get this perception that no one can defeat him.
Absolutely,
or her.
Absolutely. But you look invincible.
You look invincible only till you are challenged.
Absolutely.
And in a country like India,
nothing like succeeds India, like success.
Yes, and in a country like India, where no party has been able to get more than 50% vote at national level, opposition parties could be weak, but opposition is never weak. And Mr. Modi knows it better than you and me. And I tell you, the same media...
Are you going to contest Bihar elections?
No, I've said this when I parted ways from Nitish Kumar and I started a small program there, Baat Bihar Ki. I made it very public that I'm not into electoral politics, not in the short run. Not in these elections, for sure.
And if, whenever you decide will be Bihar, your...
Yes, that's very clear, that whenever I want to be active in electoral politics, it has to be Bihar, because that's my home state, so that's where I...
What about Mamata Banerjee, because elections are coming up in 2021, and at the moment, do you think she's facing some credibility issues, especially with the handling of the COVID situation, the post-cyclone situation where she got so irritated because there were protests in Kolkata and she said, cut my head off. You know, those are signs of somebody getting frustrated and facing some kind of an internal conflict.
Well, first of all, elections are easy only to the analysts and journalists from outside. Elections for those who fight and those who are involved actually in managing or conducting elections, no election is easy, and it can't be and it should not be. Because if you start taking elections as easy, that means you will take things for granted. So there will be challenges for sure. BJP is a very strong party. They have done extremely well.
Very strong in West Bengal too?
Yes, of course. They have done... and
57% Hindu votes
it's not about Hindu vote or Muslim vote.
Oh, come on. You are saying that, you know, polarization will not be the formula for West Bengal?
Polarization alone cannot make you win elections.
So that's only the icing on the cake?
If you so choose to. Identity or polarization, all those who sit in studios and think that only because of polarization, only because of Hindu-Muslim,
so what's
only
the
because
other strategy if governance...
So BJP has emerged in West Bengal as a very formidable political force. They are now the principal opposition, and in them emerging, there would be a host of reasons behind that. Some might be related to the lack of performance on the part of West Bengal government, or some mishandling, some issues being mishandled in the past.
Her own minister Partha Chatterjee said mistakes have been made in the handling.
But everyone makes mistake, and see, the elections are the net effect of all your good thing and the mistakes. It is not only for the mistakes, or it is not... if there would have been no mistake or no space given, then how come BJP would get more than 40% vote? That goes without saying. They have won 18 MPs. They have more than 40% vote in West Bengal. They are a very formidable political force, and the fight for West Bengal is rightfully on. I can't say one way or other, and I certainly don't have the wisdom to call an election who will win or who has an upper
Maybe
edge.
Early days yet.
Very early, and it will be a tough battle. It goes without saying.
Well, I like the way, Prashant Kishore, you say that mistakes are made by all leaders, and just say that for Mamata Banerjee. But when it comes to Prime Minister Modi, you never give him that leeway.
No, I have worked with him. What make you think that I don't give him the leeway?
नहीं, उनको आप कहते हैं कि वो उनको humble होना चाहिए, वो तो कभी admit नहीं करते हैं। ममता बनर्जी के लिए इतने allowances करते हैं।
Him meaning the government should be humble to accept that we have not got the result.
How many times has Mamta Banerjee accepted that she's made a mistake?
She did, because she was not testing at the beginning. Then she realized that not testing is not the right
test. She didn't admit it.
No, but see, the admission is in the act. That the West Bengal, which was the least tested state and was testing 700 to 800, today is testing 12,000.
Well, I'll leave it to our viewers to judge whether Mr. Prashant Kishore is making as many allowances for the opposition leaders or whether his guns are more firmly trained at Prime Minister Modi. Well, bluff, bluster, and fire and fireworks is all that we saw on Frankly Speaking. Lovely speaking with you.
Thank you.
We hope that we'll speak again many times in the run-up to the West Bengal elections and, of course, on COVID as this fight continues to rage on in India.
Thank
you, Prashant Kishore, for joining me on Frankly Speaking.